What's up, beautiful people, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Crystal and this is Bond Book Reviews, and today we're jumping into another vlog style reading wrap up for the month of May. So let's dive on in to my first review, and today I finished Drakora by Lynette Noni, which is the third book in the Madoran Chronicles, and it's my favorite so far. I really enjoyed the back and forth, well, not the back and forth, but I liked the time travel in this one, and seeing some of our main characters in a different perspective than you have seen them in previously. I preferred Alex the most in this. She has been quite young in some of the others. Like, I get it, she is young, but in this one I felt like she kind of grew into her character a bit more, so I did really enjoy that. So if you aren't familiar with what the Madoran Chronicles are, we have a main character who pretty much has the ability to open doors, and she ends up in another world where she ends up having to become like the chosen one to save all of humanity against someone in particular. That's pretty much the summary of this, and this is book 3, where she actually finds herself traveling back in time before the main enemy kind of became bad, I guess, and is trying to not change the time because she can't do that, but understand his perspective. So it's really cool to see like a different side of our like bad main character. It kind of gives him like a redemption arc, which I'm really liked in this one. So yes, they are my updates for you. I've only finished 2 books so far, and it is already halfway through the month, so here's hoping I can pick things up at the end of the month. Otherwise this is going to be a pretty boring wrap up. Okay, so next video update. In this very measly vlog, I realized I have read nothing this month. I'm embarrassed by how little I am reading at the moment, but if you can't hear, I am quite unwell. I've been sick for about 4 weeks now with upper respiratory tract infections. Addie got RSV, then she gave it to me. Then I ended up with a perforated eardrum from blowing my nose so much that led to an ear infection. And now I have another upper respiratory tract infection. So I have not taken a break in about 4 weeks time. So I mean, the fact that I got any reading done is a feat in itself, because if anyone has had children and know what it's like to look after kids that are sick when you're sick yourself, the fact that I had any energy left over to get any reading done, I'm proud of myself. So although there's not a lot in this vlog in terms of reviews, that's a little life update there for you. Addie is turning 1 next month, and I am just blown away by how quickly this year has gone. Her starting daycare has definitely led to some crazy weeks of sickness. So the last book that I want to talk to you about, I finished yesterday, and that is Death of a Bookseller by, oh my god, I've blanked on their name, I'm so sorry. Hold on. By Alice Slater. So this one was an arc that I was kindly given at work, and I was reading it to discuss it on the Booktopia podcast. Tell me what to read if you are looking for a new podcast. I guest feature on the podcast every so often, and we were talking about Crime Month, and so I decided that I would read Death of a Bookseller, as well as another book that I am in the middle of currently, which you'll hear about next month. And this was a surprise to me. I went into this with like trepidation or low expectations, I guess you could say. It follows 2 characters. We have Roach is her surname, but she's known as Roach. And then a new bookseller comes to Roach's store, and they are selling books together. Now Roach is obsessed with true crime, and the new bookseller that appears, she has a relationship with true crime that is a little closer than any of us would want to experience ourselves. And this leads to Roach having a little bit of an obsession with her, kind of becomes a little bit stalkery vibes. And the book is all about kind of like that obsession and death, but not in like a weird way. I don't know. But the only negative things I have to say about it is the stalker things that happen were a little bit repetitive. But all in all, I found myself continuing to read to find out where it was going to go, because it never once did I feel like I knew which direction the book was going to go. And I loved the ending. When it first happened, I kind of was like, oh, and felt like it fell flat. But then I sat on it for a little while and I really started to think about the intricacy, oh my God, the interest, I can't talk. The increase, what's the, oh my God, the intricacy, oh my God, I can't talk. Okay, the intricacy, we got there in the end. Oh my God, the intricacy of the ending, which left me wondering what actually happened. So if you've ever read Verity by Colleen Hoover and that kind of like ambiguous ending situation, it's like that. Very different story. Don't worry, it's nothing like that in terms of story, but the ending where you're kind of left with a, well, what actually happened? Did the person do or not do the thing that was implied at the end? So I want more people to read this book so that I can talk about their thoughts and whether they think this thing happened at the end or not. My thought is that she did. I wholeheartedly believe that she was that obsessed with this particular thing that she chose to experience it. That's all I'm going to say and not give anything away. But all in all, I gave it probably about 3.5 stars, maybe rounded up to 4. Like, it was interesting enough. It was a very, very slow burn thriller. So if you like your like page turning, action packed, something always happening thrillers, this one probably isn't for you. But if you like one that's kind of like slow burn and intrigues you and you kind of like find little things out throughout, and then like there's no real crime to solve, but there's like this weird underlying spookiness and like crime happening as the book evolves, that's how I would describe this book. Different to any thriller that I've ever read, so it was nice for me, but I definitely prefer my page turner, so I think that's where it lost me a little bit, but the ending probably made it up for me. So when I first finished it, I was like, oh, 2 stars, what a disappointment. And then I sat on it and really thought about that ending and how smart it was to do it in that way, and I'm like, I feel like I need to give it more stars. So there you have it. Very, very, very minimal reviews for this month and not a lot of reading happening over here right now. But that is what I read in the month of May. Hopefully you will get better reviews from me in June. And if not, just be patient with me. This working in Sydney commute, drive, constantly being sick thing is really like messing with my ability to get some great content out to you guys. So I appreciate you being patient. And until next time, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you don't have a comment to drop down below telling me what you read in the month of May, then you can leave a rainbow emoji in the comments down below, getting ready for Pride Month. And until next time, guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a great weekend and happy reading. Bye.